The Harper contains foul language and adult material. If you are easily offended and thin-skinned, you should hit the stop button now. And if you are not a complete idiot, let's get this party started.
Hike up your motherfucking panties.
And pull them to the side.
This is the Harper.
Fuck you. No bullshit.
Welcome to the Harper, ladies and gentlemen. That's Jake. As always, with my sidekick, Adam.
That's right.
It was killing you, wasn't it?
It was. I had to get in there early.
Man, you were dying to get in there early this time. Now, welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. Another super fun week coming at you. Before we get started too far in, our public service announcement coming from the beginning. That was my daughter, Kylie, telling you that if you're not a dumbass, go ahead and keep listening.
Yeah.
The other half of our public
So
service
welcome,
announcement.
non-dumbasses.
Thank you. Thank you for coming aboard. The other half of our public service announcement is about to come from Adam.
Yeah. Basically, get out there and check out our YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and comment, because we haven't had, I don't think, even one yet.
Yeah.
Visit us at theharperguys.com. From that URL, you can reach any of our sites. Also follow and subscribe there. It's Podbean. It's our host.
Sure.
But then also hit us up at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, and TuneIn. And we're trying to get on, as we mentioned last time, we're trying to get on to iHeartRadio.
How are we making progress with that?
They said it could take up to 14 days.
14 days.
And I
That
haven't
was
heard
like
back.
14 days ago.
I keep checking the email like Christmas.
Man.
That's
Well, we do heart radio. Not as much as we heart podcasting, but we do heart
right.
it.
That's right.
So, yeah, get on there, check us out, and we're hoping to get on a fairly regular schedule of every other Thursday going live.
Yeah.
So that's going to be through YouTube. You can go to the homepage. If you follow us on Instagram, you'll be able to see that we put it out there the day that we're going to go live. You can go straight to our website, theharperguys.com. Click right on the YouTube link. It'll take you right to our page. Bada boom, bada bing.
Bam!
You're in talking shit with the smart people of the world, right?
Yeah, feeling a lot better.
That's right. So I think that's what we got for tonight. I don't really have any other shout-outs or anything that I feel like I need to give.
No.
Too much?
I was trying to get a little promo going for one of the other podcasts, but we'll do that next time.
All right, we'll put that together for the next one. So I think that there's a particular type of person that you and I recently had a conversation about that annoys the shit out of you, and it struck a nerve with me too. So tell me a little bit about the person that the personality type, I should say.
We all know this kind of person. Maybe you're this kind of person. I know at times I can even be this kind of person, but for the most part, I hope I'm not. But it's just a person that can't get to the fucking point of their conversation. It's tough. It grinds my gears. I have a hard time focusing when I know this person is just going to ramble, and I don't have time.
So is the frustration the devil in the details part, to where somebody starts telling you a story and then they branch off, they go into a tributary story, that's like a connecting story, but then they bring it back and they're back on track with the story and then they go off with another one again?
Maybe
or is it just all filler?
Maybe I'm just the story whisperer, but I just feel like I can tell. Oh my God, we're gonna be here a while, and maybe it all stems from like work.
Yeah.
Where if I get into a conversation with somebody like this and I'm busy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where it all stems from, and then I get out into the real world where it's my time now.
Yeah.
And I don't want to waste it.
I get it. That makes sense.
Now, if you're giving me something compelling, basically the point, I guess, is bring something good to the table.
Yeah.
Come on.
I won't disagree with that.
I mean, I'm 43 fucking years old. I heard a lot of stories.
Yeah.
Give me something fresh.
I think time and place has a lot to do with what my toleration level is with somebody like that. Because I was actually, I got to admit, I was a little bit confused. I thought that what you meant was a continuous talker. That person that will finish telling a story and be like, yeah, so,
Hey,
and then they
add
start
it
into
to the list.
and then they start into story number 2, and they don't breathe in between, so like you can't get a word in edgewise. I thought that was what you meant when we discussed this, so that makes even more sense. If somebody just
As you can see,
can't
we
get
are
there.
sharp and fine tacks around here. We our production meetings we get a lot of shit ironed out.
We try to. Hey, but even at that, I mean, there's always going to be miscommunications in life. Come on.
Hey, I love it.
Even as much as we fucking talk.
Hey, you know what? It gives us something else to talk about.
It really does.
By the way, we might as well interrupt just real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if anybody's actually paying attention, but we got a couple new spreads here. We got the Old Glory here.
America.
We brought Johnny on the set. We figured that this is just a classic picture that fits our show to a T. And then, of course, we got the big old logo there.
Yeah. Shout out to the unnamed man that hooked us up with this. Way to go. We really appreciate it. Spoiler alert for those of you that are just now watching this. You missed the live stream from last Thursday where this is actually making its debut, but we haven't let that cat really out of the bag. So the people that are watching this last week, I feel like I'm, what's that movie, Inception, right now? Because people probably aren't following along with what I'm saying.
Yeah, because I even kind of jumped the gun because we're actually going to do a live stream after this, which will be showing up before this show.
That's right.
And then you will have already seen this, and then you'll be like, hey, dumb fuck, you already had a show like this, but oh well.
So especially if you're one of our listeners, this 2 minutes of your life, I apologize that you're not fucking getting back. So that's just what it comes down to on that.
Hey, I was excited for our new gigs.
It is what hey, put the fucking can on the coaster.
I was.
I'm just saying, man. Not an Old Glory.
I had to be.
The Yeti don't sweaty. I'm just saying. The high life, it's got a place.
Well, you could keep moving it around to each star. You'd be all right.
I will. Oklahoma.
Oh.
Nebraska. How many you want me to hit? Anyway, it got me thinking when we started talking about this. You see how I went on a tributary? We come back to it.
That's okay. You know why? Because it's the Harper.
Yeah? So a continuous talker or a person that can't get to the point, there's a couple other people that I want to know where you kind of rank them. Like, would you rather deal with the guy that you initially identified or that person that when you ask them a question, they answer you in one-word answers, and then that's the fucking end of it?
I'd rather have one-word answers.
Really?
I think it's kind of rude, but I'm like, good, leave.
That's it, huh?
If you're going to be a dick, get the fuck out of here.
What if you're in a position where you can't just get out of there? Like, what if it's like a birthday party and you're stuck with the only other dad that's there and you have to be in that moment? Would you rather him be one answer Johnny, or would you rather him drone on and on and on to get to the end of his fish story?
If you're using the word stuck at a birthday party.
I'm just saying, we're talking about shitty scenarios here.
I got you, but if we're just stuck at a birthday party, I want the guy that's long-winded. Let's get into some fucking funny stories. Come on. I know you got it in you.
Yeah. Those of you who get in that predicament, there's a very simple solution to help you handle it. You know what that is? While he stands there and talk, you continue to drink. Because what's going to happen is this. You're going to get drunk, and then you're not going to give a fuck, and you're just going to interrupt, and you're going to take over the conversation.
Boom.
I have never done that.
No, why would you?
I would never do that. I'm just saying it's known to happen, so that's my advice for how to handle the situation with the continual talker.
Now there's another one, and we experienced this morning, and this person shall remain nameless, but where it's, and we've talked about people like this, or maybe even this person on the show, but it's the fact that
he or she,
it's
may or may not have made the coworker show.
Yeah, and it's more of the I'm going to steal or attempt to hijack your conversation and take it over here.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, this man and I were brewing coffee, and we were chatting and waiting for that thing to get done and having our conversation. And here comes this person and wants to one-up you for one.
Definitely. That is definitely... Okay, not to go too far crazy. If you get a chance, go back and listen to that particular episode. You'll understand. All of these people just like we do. This isn't probably not going to be a realization of anything other than the fact that you're not the only one that deals with them. She is definitely one of those people that carries 3 or 4 of those banners. Like, she's a one-upper for sure.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, add on top of that, she takes over the conversation.
Conversation hijacker.
Yeah, she will take that conversation and run.
Boom.
She fits another one of the people that I had on my list, the loud talker. Again, not something I get accused of, so I don't really understand being the loudest person in the room, but there's something to be said for when you're having a conversation with somebody and like you feel like every time they talk, the whole room stops and looks at them and you're like, yo, dude, like,
yeah,
just You're here, just here.
The loud talker.
Mellow.
I got another one.
Yeah.
Just hit me in the face.
Do it.
The one that a question is asked,
Okay.
and you start to respond, but they want to ask more, so they get fucking really loud and quick. And you're like, now I may even be guilty of this at times, but this one particular individual, I noticed they do it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, you had a question.
Isn't it strange how we feel like we have to deal with these situations as part of like our social norms?
Yeah.
Because in that moment, from what you were just saying, I would want to be like, shut the fuck up. One
Right.
question at a time.
Yeah.
I can't answer 3 at a time because you're not going to pay the fuck attention long enough for me to answer 3 at a time.
Right.
So don't fucking ask 3 at a time.
Well, it's not even 3 at a time. It's just that you try to answer, but they want to add more to it.
Yeah.
And it's like a who can get louder moment.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. There is a point in time where if you pose, I can understand the situation where somebody may have been confused,
Right.
and you were asking a hypothetical question and you weren't really looking for an answer, but they took it that they might have been supposed to answer in that moment.
Right.
Like, can you believe this shit? If you don't follow that up immediately within like an eighth of a second with the beginning of the next phrase, if they know what shit you're talking about, they might be like, yeah, it's fucking ridiculous, and jump on board. Or be like, no, what shit is that? I didn't see that shit happen.
Yeah.
Did
I step at the shit?
Right.
I hope not.
I hope not too. I'm just saying. There's different ways that you can look at it. I'm just saying it's funny to me that we feel like we have to be so nice all the time that we've almost learned socially that we're supposed to be a particular way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's no good.
Like if you were to do that, if you were, let's say you have kids that play ball, right? They play baseball, softball, things like that. If you were at like the end of the season family barbecue where everybody's hanging out together and drunk Tom comes over and starts, and you're like, Tom, stop. You're hijacking the conversation right now. You would be Adam the douche from Norton for the rest of your life.
Yeah, don't talk to that fucker.
Right.
He'll fucking call you out right in front of you.
Right. He's not even friendly.
You know what?
Gosh.
I would rather the world be like that than the politically correct bullshit.
Right.
I just would.
I wish we could just be like that, because you know what would happen? In that moment, you would be shunned by 98% of the people there, but you would have that one guy that would come over and he'd just be like, Knuckles, dude.
Yeah.
He'd be like hitting you up, and then like who the only other real person there is to go with you.
Boom.
And I'll tell you what, it's one of the worst things I think that you run into as parents, employees, spouses, children, any role that you have to play when you feel like you have to play a role in a conversation or an event, to where you can't just be you at the event. Like there's certain things that you have to do, or maybe I'm just a little bit fucking crazy and that's the way I live my life. So like I have to crank it back down to 7 when I'm in public, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's maybe that's my opinion. I just wish I could take a page from Johnny. I mean, clearly he didn't give a fuck, right?
Yeah, I think he was flipping off a prison guard right there.
Yeah. So, a couple other ones. So, would you rather deal with your guy or a close talker?
Oof. I can't stand the close talker. I probably told this story I might not have.
Yeah.
But I had this close talker, co-worker, and basically chased me around the table, wanted to talk to me so close. I was just slowly moving away, and he's slowly chasing me. I'm like, stop it!
Did you start saying duck on your way around? Duck.
I should have.
Duck.
It wasn't really that bad, but it was like I was moving, and he was moving too.
Yeah. I've been there. I used to work directly with a guy that was like a super close talker to where
Right.
I would have to turn sideways, like purposely, to like put my shoulder just so I had some distance between him and I.
Yeah.
So it didn't look like we were making out while we were running the machine at work.
Okay, so what do we got here? We got about 5 or 6 of these?
The last one that I had was the quiet talker. There's nothing that drives me crazy. For me, if you're going to give me one-word answers, I'll fill the fucking air. You know what I mean? You're either going to speak the fuck up or you're going to get tired of listening to me. If you're a continuous talker, you know what? I could tune you out and stare at that wall for the next 26 minutes, and I'm going to be just fine, right? Close talkers, my shoulder's all I got. Outside of that, I don't know. Loud talkers, I'm not afraid to say, hey, tone it down just a little tiny bit. Like, just a smidgen.
Remember, we had one worked up front. I was always level 2.
Yeah.
Level 2. Bring it down.
Right?
And I'm loud as fuck anyways.
Right.
As you guys all already know.
Right.
But, yeah, I'm not afraid to tell somebody else to bring it down.
But the worst of them all, from this particular list is the quiet talker.
I don't know if I know any quiet talkers.
Seriously.
Oh.
You really?
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you think about just our particular place of employment.
Yeah, but even the quiet talkers, I think that they're more polite.
No.
Isn't it a polite thing? They're like,
no.
Hi, Jake, I just
when
to
it's the
tell you.
super mousy, just say whatever the fuck it is you're gonna say. If I have to say more than once in our conversation, you clearly aren't fucking listening. Right?
Huh?
To the fact that I'm fucking asking you to talk louder by saying,
What?
Right.
Excuse me?
I'm not going to play this game with
Baking
you.
powder?
I'm trying to make a point. And you're not playing along. Damn it. So anyway.
No, I agree.
That's it. I'm sorry. To me, that's the most annoying one because it puts me on the spot. Because it puts me in a position to where I look like maybe I just can't fucking hear.
I mean, I wrote down the first one, people that never get to the point. That fucking bugs me. But if I have to, categorize these, I'm going to say the conversation hijacker pisses me off. For one...
that's the worst.
For me, because I'm having a conversation with point A to point B. Right now, we're talking. Mm-hmm. Somebody comes in and thinks that their shit's more important. Now, if it's an emergency and it's work-related, okay.
But think about it this way. Think about it.
If it's just a normal conversation, fuck off.
Well, I guess, but at the same time, I kind of look at that as kind of like being a dad. To where, if you're in the garage and you're working on something, one of the kids comes in and is like, hey, I popped the chain off my bike. You're going to stop what you're doing. You're going to put the chain back on the bike, and then you're going to go back to what you were doing. To where I feel like that's kind of what we do when we end up dealing with this situation. We kind of, we stop.
I get pissed.
We put the bike chain back on, and then what do? We very casually and quickly slide out.
No, doesn't usually happen. See, we need to play more euchre together because when we're in this situation, when we're in this situation, what I want you to do is don't let them do it.
Right.
Continue to keep talking. Fight it. It's like the force field. I can't hear you. And eventually they'll fucking stop. Maybe not. I don't know. If you give in and let them hijack it, you're an enabler, Jake.
How about we just be passive aggressive and we just start using the code? Whenever it starts, I'm just going to be like, I got to go. I got to go get down to brass tacks. And then we just know that we're leaving. And that's fucking it. Be like, yeah, me too. Hashtag me too.
Brass tacks.
Right. Not that I'm insulting. Hashtag me too.
Too bad we don't have a soundbite for that.
Right? It'd be great. So, boom, there's one off the docket.
Let's get down to brass tacks, gentlemen.
Oh, look at that. David fucking Dennis Miller, that shit. So now comes to a part of the show that we've talked about for a long time. I'm going to go ahead and dig on in for this right here. This show is called The Harper. And for good reason. Because when it comes to certain topics, we can't help but harp about them. And harping is when you go on and on. But the people that harp are going on and on because they have a fucking point and they want somebody to listen to it.
And if you would just pay the fuck attention for 5 minutes, maybe the harping would stop.
Right.
Or maybe not.
Maybe it'll help you. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll give you something to think about. But it's time that we start fucking harping all the time.
Yeah. So we're going to do a regular segment on the show.
I fucking hate saying the word segment. You know? It's like when somebody goes
about moment.
Yeah. We're just going to do a part of the show every week where we're just going to throw it out there, something that's fucking pissing us off that we need to fucking harp about.
It's more than likely going to be short and sweet, but it is what it is.
Yeah. And don't ever fucking use the term once in your life, build your brand, or use the words my brand.
Is this your harp?
That will lose you friends. No, I'm just fucking saying. That's free on the note. So, do you want to give the first harp tonight, or do you want me to?
I do, because mine rolls right in.
Roll on too.
Because I didn't bring this up during the first topic because...
Can you just get to the fucking point?
See?
Yeah, baby.
The double story Dans.
Okay.
Most of this I hear with fellas, where they'll tell you a story, a joke even, a funny story, and then there's a punchline, we all laugh, and then they repeat the same thing. The Cliff Notes version. The Cliff Notes, it's quicker the second time, and then they give you the punchline again. And everybody usually laughs a second time. Then we're like, yeah, okay. But me, the fucking angry fucking elf, I'm the guy that's like, do you think I'm fucking stupid?
Right.
No, do you think I'm fucking stupid? Do you have to tell me that twice?
I mean, clearly that's the thought process.
Now,
can I answer you?
Well, hold on one second. I do want to clarify one thing. That back in my earlier days, I was around a lot of people that did this.
Okay.
And I started to do it too, because when you're in a tribe and the tribe is all doing one thing, you tend to follow the lead.
That's why it's called tribal.
Yeah. And,
Sure.
but then I started to realize what was going on. And I'm like, this is stupid. I will never do this ever again.
Never, ever.
Never. I will never. And I will even be conscious of it when I'm speaking. And I'll be like, sometimes I want to, but I'm like, there's no point. They heard me the first time. It was funny.
Yes.
It's done.
So I think that one of the things that we might be able to do, and I don't know, maybe it won't work for everything that we have on here, right? But maybe one thing that we can do is give a little bit of advice if somebody feels like they're being that person, to maybe stop being that person.
Yeah.
So
You don't have to insult me by telling me twice.
So what I would say, and I know that I do this actually on my own a lot, because I don't want to waste my time or somebody else's with something that's already been done. I hate repeating work. So I have a...
Can you repeat that, please?
No, you know what I just said. I have what I would consider to be a fairly small group of what I would call real friends. People that, if they called me at 3 o'clock in the morning, I would go. People that if I called them, that I think that they would show, right? Go and show.
Sure.
Man, just fucking can't get the words out sometimes.
Exactly.
Right? But what I was trying to get at is, when I talk to my very close friends, I feel like a lot of times I will preempt, hey, did I tell you about? And then I will give you like 9 words or less what that story is. Did I tell you about what happened last night at Lowe's?
Right.
And if you say yes, you know what the fuck I do?
Next.
Right on to something fucking else. Because if you have to tell the same story again and again to fill the air, go fucking do something else with your time so you have another fucking story to tell me.
Yeah, I did this to a guy the other day. He came in to my office and he brought the same story.
Yeah.
And I had to say, dude, you're going to have to bring me something fresh. You're going to have to bring me something fresh. I can't keep doing this.
I already saw this Netflix special.
I did.
What else you got?
The reruns.
Yeah.
I'm only watching reruns if it's Happy Days. Get the fuck out.
Sure. So, perfect. Anything else on your guy?
No, that's the hop.
All right.
That's my hop.
Here's my fucking hop. Anybody that deals with emails all day long, which is becoming a very strong percentage of the world, right? I mean, even all of our shop floors have emails. Our shipping people have emails. Like, this isn't just the people that work in the upper echelon of companies anymore, right?
Correcto.
If I send you a fucking email and I ask you a fucking question, do you know what I expect in return? Something. I don't care if you tell me to go eat a bag of dicks, you're never going to answer the fucking question. Great. At least you gave me that. When people don't answer emails, I'm not joking. And if this happens, I swear to God, I'm going to get brought up on charges. So I'm going to need you all to come to my defense to give me fucking alibis that I didn't do it. Every time, but I get to like day 2 and I think about an email that I sent because it's a problem I have to address and I haven't got an answer back, I want to slit that person's fucking throat. If you talk about the things in this world, fucking with my family, my country, my religion, like,
and my fucking emails.
Like, literally, emails is going to make that top fucking 10 list of how bad, like, you want to go fucking harpoon a whale? Great. Don't not send me a fucking email back. Because I've taken time out of my valuable day to ask you to help me with something or to get me an answer on something that helps something that we're both involved with move forward.
Correct.
It is so bullshit that the people that do that. And there are people that know you and I, that work with you and I, that are probably listening to this right now that have done this. Don't take it as offense, because I honestly believe that there are people that don't know that they're doing it to the level that they're doing it. That they're so busy, they get so many fucking emails, they're like, he'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. She's got it. Fuck it, she's got it.
I am on the same wavelength as you. I like it, a quick response, but I am going to admit that I am a guilty party on this, but not on purpose. Not because I want to be.
Yeah?
It's kind of like the busy bee fucking thing where you have to remember.
I mean, is there any way that you could create? Okay, so I'm not giving anything away here. We use Zimbra as our office
Oh, it doesn't matter.
as
Any email.
as our office email, you can set up a persona that has a direct message in it that says, "Hey, I'm currently working on another project. I will get an answer to you as quickly as possible." When you're in the mode that you know you're not gonna be able to answer people for a
yeah,
while.
but I don't know if I'm like, I don't know when that's going to be. It could come. It could walk through the door in 5 minutes.
That's true. I guess that's true. I'm just saying, there's nothing worse than not getting an answer
Oh
back
no,
on an email.
I have gotten
In
it.
terms of work, that's my harp. You're fucking up my day and you're pissing me off.
No, I get it.
Don't be that fucking person.
I understand it completely.
And you know how like they say like an elephant, right? Elephants fucking remember everything. They say dogs fucking remember everything. I know. I can name you right now at least 10 people that have done this to me, and I don't fucking forget it. And there's times that I look at my list of shit to do. You might have been number 2 on the list, but person number 4 on my list, when I ask them a question, they get me a fucking answer back. So you know what happens? Number 4 jumps to number fucking 2. So quit being a fucking asshole unless you want to be treated like one.
Agreed.
So that's what I got on that.
Okay, so let's move right on into the next bunch of fucking.
How about we get into some new education? Huh? Something else that has to do with it. I feel like I just educated you on how to handle the this part of it. So maybe we talk about the bullshit that's going on with these people that are being brought up on charges for buying their kids way into fucking college.
I'm almost speechless. Am I surprised that these fuckers are getting busted? And there's probably going to be more and more and more coming out of the fold of all this. But, you know, we've got a couple ladies that are one pled guilty. One is fighting it, and she's freaked out.
Rolling those fucking dice, man.
Yeah. And now she's all freaked out because her daughters might have to testify, yada, yada. We're talking about Lori Loughlin and who Huffman? Who?
Felicity Huffman.
Felicity Huffman. And, you know, these people already live the lifestyles of the rich and fucking famous.
Very posh.
I mean, and now their kids need special acceptance? Fuck off. Fuck you. This should have been my harp.
No?
I think this show might just be the definition of the Harper.
You think?
It's just from top to bottom. I don't get. I don't know. Like I said, this doesn't surprise me that this shit is coming to light. I can't believe it hasn't came to light earlier.
I mean, I don't think since the...
Do you think these are the first two fucking families that ever done this?
What I'm trying to say is this. I think from the first time that somebody looked at one school as being better than another school, this has happened pretty much from that fucking point on, which was probably the days of fucking Aristotle and Socrates, right? I mean, that's like the first time that like actual university and stuff like that happened. People would go for higher learning than what was considered to be the standard get the fuck by through your normal society day, right?
Yeah, but I mean, for me, I think
I'm saying
what would be
1,000 years.
Well, I'm just saying for me, what would maybe be acceptable is like, the dean or whoever accepts you into the school, maybe you just give them a little gift, a basket of apples. Of course, it would be something more than that, a gold fucking flask, something. But not $15,000 to hijack their SAT scores.
I think this is a situation where I feel like it gives us an opportunity to look at something that most people go through their daily life and don't identify. We have gotten to a point where we want to be offended by everything. We want to be upset about everything that happens, instead of looking at something and being arbitrary. I think arbitrarily, we can both look at this and we can say that the way that everything has happened, these rich families, these rich mothers and fathers that have gotten their kids into college on bullshit SAT and ACT scores, have gotten them through bullshit fucking sports scholarships, right? That's fucked up. So why not just fucking call a spade here?
Okay, let's do it.
We talked about, and I'm going to circle to the right to come back. We talked about Mick Jagger on a previous show, how they have government health care in Britain, but his ass is coming to the Cleveland Clinic to get some fucking heart shit done. Why? They're the best. Okay?
They're the best.
And he can afford it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You can afford the best, you get the best. Right? So, instead of money being fucking sent up to bullshit funds, deans of schools, shit like that, why not put a certain number of positions of enrollment up to be purchased? If you take people like this, if you can afford $500,000, I mean, to me, that is what, half a lifetime worth of fucking money from what our generation was.
That's a lot.
Even 25 years from now, it's going to be a quarter of your lifetime's earnings at a decent job, right? If you can afford that to get your kid into school, that child is not going to fucking want for anything anyway.
Right.
Throughout their entire life. So if you're going to do that, instead of taking money and fucking giving it to the asshole deans and presidents
that are still accepting it.
Right. And people like that are fucked up. I mean, these people fuck up so many things. Look at the NCAA and how bad these exact same group of people have fucked up the NCAA, turned their players into fucking migrant workers, basically.
You know what? I'd like to
let me finish.
Well, hold
Get
on.
it finished.
Okay, finish.
I'll be quick.
No, you're not.
Okay. You know what? I'll pause.
No, go ahead.
We'll stop there. So I ended with, these people aren't going to ever be poor.
Right.
The parents should have the ability to buy in.
You think?
At what cost? I think at this cost. If little Johnny is going to get his way paid in, and let's say this school costs $100,000 a year, mom and dad who are paying for Johnny's way in, they're going to take 4 kids that don't have the means to go to that school, and they're going to put them through that fucking school instead of having that fucking school debt. At that point in time, great. Maybe Johnny gets his shit together. Maybe Johnny gets his shit together and he becomes a functional, great member of society through his college years. If he doesn't, you still have 4 people that work their ass off to get to the point where they can go to school and they get to come out of school, become productive members of society without being saddled with $100,000 in school loan debt. Let's not just vilify it and say that it's wrong. Let's look at a way to make it work for other people.
Yeah, but I mean, not only should these uppity rich people that are doing this get in trouble, also the dean should get in trouble.
Oh, absolutely. I agree 1,000%.
Yeah.
What do you do? Is he just gone?
I don't know. You don't hear anything about these guys. You just hear about the actresses that are getting.
Oh, no. There's coaches and there's different people throughout the different schools that are being prosecuted too.
Okay, good.
They just haven't publicized all of it yet.
Okay.
So there's going to be people from every level that end up involved with this.
Right.
Coaches, professors that have been paid to write letters of recommendation. I mean, clear down to the fucking people that are taking tests for people.
It just seems like such a waste. I mean, they're I know you're talking about a plan.
Yeah.
But still, when they just, here's my kid, take my money, they just cost somebody an education because they only give out so many scholarships.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. So pay for that one and 4 more. That gives us an 80% success rate. If we got 80% of the kids going to our universities coming out without having to fucking pay back student loans and that become productive.
They're not going to pay for somebody else. So
Bullshit.
you're saying make it legal, but you have to pay for other kids.
Yes. But you also get the other perk for the people paying is they get amnesty to where it's not publicized who paid for it. They don't know that Johnny got in because mom and dad paid for it. He's just accepted at that point.
But do you really think that these kids even need to go to this college?
Do I think that they need to? It doesn't matter what I think when it comes to this moment.
They're hanging off to mom and dad's rich-ass tit anyways.
All I'm saying is again, we talked about this before. If you see an angle, take one. If this is what the people want, this is supply and demand. Clearly, there's a fucking demand to have their kids go to prestigious schools. What do we have? Short supply of motherfuckers that you can pay off. So let's make sure that supply equals the demand, but put it at a price point that helps America's fucking youth. Instead of the government bailing out all these kids that have this student loan, let the fucking people pay for it that are paying for their kids to go to school.
But the colleges apparently won't just let them in. They still need good grades.
Bullshit. You and I just talked about the fact that they fucking would deal with the tests and shit.
Yeah, but they didn't pay.
Or an athletic scholarship. I'll tell you right now. I know.
Hold on. They said Huffman paid $15,000 to have her kids' SAT scores boosted. So she didn't pay the school. She paid somebody to go in there and tweak them in the system.
Great. So what do you make that? Felony 1, felony 2, 20 years, 25 years? We've talked about this before. Getting smacked on the hand? That doesn't
Hey,
stop you from doing a lot of things. Getting punched in the mouth?
I do want to revisit the capital punishment. And do you know what we didn't talk about on that show?
We're not quite there yet.
I know, but do you know what we didn't talk about on that show?
I don't know.
Corporal punishment. We let it go right by.
I thought we already talked about corporal punishment.
I don't
once.
think so.
We'll have to go back and look.
Yeah.
We might have. We might not have.
We probably aren't going to go back and look. So
We probably aren't. And you guys can let us know. Let's be honest.
I don't know. I just
Either way, you're paying for a fucking education, though, too. That's the other point that I have in this. It doesn't matter whether that kid's mom and dad is paying $500,000 plus the extra $100,000. I mean, does the extra $100,000 really fucking matter if you're paying $500,000 or $600,000? Every other kid that's going to school there is paying fucking money for their education. It's just how much it fucking costs. You can go to the University of Akron. It's going to cost you $20,000 for 4 years. That's $80,000. You can go to fucking Harvard. It's going to cost you $100,000 for 4 years. That's $400,000.
I get it, but these schools act like they want prestigious kids with great grades because they sell that shit.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Let's stop the bullshit. Hey, this is part of what we do. No bullshit. No more bullshit on this. Put the fucking shit up for sale.
Well, that's why we're talking about it, because it is bullshit.
It is bullshit, and I'm saying let's get rid of the bullshit. Let's get rid of the facade that's there. Let the school say, you know what? This is what we're going to do. We think this is a great program to help people that have been disenfranchised, that have not had the opportunities in life, have not had the same options as everybody else, and give them a chance to rise above without taking a fucking debt to go with it. It doesn't matter if Johnny fucking flunks out or if he graduates fucking summa cum laude. He's still going to have the fucking mom and dad money to roll back on unless they fuck it all up at some point and lose it.
That's right.
Right? So let's start taking care of the other people with their income. You want socialism? That's a way that you bring something that is a socialist mentality into our system without fucking up the system.
Yeah, I don't know if I want that though either.
You know what? Do you not think that would be okay if your daughter decided that she wanted to go to a
I'm just talking
premier?
about socialism.
But that's where I'm trying to say. There are little teeny tiny elements like this.
Little pieces of glass.
Just a little piece of glass that work in situations like this, right? To where you're taking from the rich and you're spreading it amongst the poor. Because at the end of the day, you're going to get
great, Robin.
You're going to get more from the fucking poor, baby.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Right.
So,
for sure.
Anyway, at the end of the day, though, fuck you, Lori Loughlin. It's still bullshit the way you did it.
Every time I see her, which is, I don't watch the news that often, but when I do, and she's walking across from the car to the courthouse,
yeah,
she looks like she just is some innocent fucking bitch.
Innocent?
She acts like she is so arrogant, like, I'm above it.
I'm sure that they're spinning bullshit that, you know, this is all bullshit that was brought on by TMZ. We just wanted to fucking donate a building to the school, you know? Like, our daughter, she showed up. Like, it wasn't her fault that they canceled practice that day. Like, nobody was practicing. It wasn't just her. It's going to be some shit like that. You fucking watch. It's going to be the Kansas City Shuffle. You know what the Kansas City Shuffle is?
Yeah.
From the movie. Mm-hmm. If you haven't seen it, Lucky Number 11, one of the great movies of all time that most people have never seen.
I watched it because of this guy.
That's right. And you loved it, didn't you?
It was good.
The Kansas City Shuffle, remember it. You do something that makes everybody look left, and you go right.
I think they had Vern in it. Vern from Stand By Me.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't remember what his name is, though.
Great fucking movie. So, I think that's all we got to say about the school. You brought up something else that is going to be another portion of our show that we've talked about. We keep talking about capital punishment, clearly something that we believe in. I believe that there are super gray lines on what people should and should not be paying the ultimate price for, right?
I think we came to the conclusion that there's got to be valid, concrete proof that you're the bad guy.
Right. But what is...
Or girl.
But concrete proof of what qualifies? If you rape somebody, is that worth a death sentence? Maybe... It's a gray area. I don't know one way or the other. That's one of those things. I just asked a question I don't know the answer to, which is fucking weird on my part. But what I'm saying is, I think that there's a very different dichotomy between the different things that you could do that would earn you the gallows or your methodology of choice. So we're going to start bringing out different people, different situations from show to show that we think...
This can be people or groups.
People or groups. Perfect. So I'm going to let you fire off first. People or group that you think deserves to pay the ultimate price of capital punishment.
Actually, I'm going to defer back to you.
Oh, you're gonna pass?
Yeah.
Oh, are we playing press your luck? No, no whammies. No whammies.
Hiya, Bob. Hiya.
All right, I'm gonna go with. It's one of the most fucked up things I've ever heard of. His name is Emmanuel Aranda. I hope that I pronounced that right. This piece of shit threw a 5-year-old boy off of a 3rd-story balcony in the Mall of America that he didn't even know for basically no fucking apparent reason. This guy has been kicked.
Is he all hopped up on some shit?
It doesn't sound like it, man. He's just a fucking whack job. He's been kicked out, barred from there for lighting shit on fire at the Mall of America, for throwing other valuables over the fucking banister at the Mall of America. Apparently, this dickhead walks up to a fucking child, a 5-year-old child, and grabs him and launches him over the fucking railing.
Thinks that's a funny thing to do.
Apparently he did. So, now, the good news is, as of the time of this broadcast, from everything I've read, critical condition, obviously. There's a GoFundMe for him.
He didn't die?
No. Badass kid. I apologize that I don't have his name right now. I wish that I did. I apologize that I don't. You can go online. I'm sure you can look it up very quick. Mall of America, kid is thrown from balcony. It's going to come up pretty quickly.
Jesus Christ.
There's a GoFundMe. They've raised over $500,000 for this kid. I hope that he makes it and that he becomes a great story. But whether or not he even makes it, there is not a place in society for this fucking guy to live. Mm-hmm. He needs to go. And you know what I think they should do? I think they should throw him off a fucking 3rd-story balcony. And if he lives, you know what you do? You put him back in the fucking elevator. You go back up to the 3rd story, and you drop him off again.
Motherfucker.
And you keep dropping him until you can't fucking drop him anymore. And maybe if we start dealing with situations like that in a real eye for an eye fucking mentality,
Boom.
Maybe some of this shit will fucking stop. Maybe something will trigger when he's ready to fucking do that. I don't want to do that 6 times. So I'm going to not do that, no matter how fucked up he is. And if he's that fucked up that he's going to do it anyway, then he deserves what's coming.
Bam.
That's my gallow.
That's great. That's great. That's a great gallows pull. I don't have a person specifically. I'm just going to do a general group.
Okay.
And I'm just going to start out simple here. But if this ever happened to one of my kids, I would fucking freak out and probably be the dad trying to choke the guy in the courtroom. The pedophiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's straight it. I don't care. You mentioned on one of our other shows where this is some people think that this is a sexual preference.
The far left.
Yeah, fuck off.
The far left. I'm not saying the entire left. To my friends out there, I don't believe that all of you that are leftists believe that.
Right.
The far left.
But if you are caught and convicted and it's proven, I'm sorry.
So I play devil's advocate a lot on the show, just because I kind of want to understand a little bit more what you're thinking. So what level of pedophilia gets you murdered? Like, gets you, if you watch it?
Oof. Well, what I mean,
I would say yeah.
We don't know what level of, like, it's like, okay, let's say Tom, we're going to not use Frank anymore. Frank is dead already. Tom is watching it. Do you think that if he watches it on a daily basis, that he's going to maybe act on that?
I believe that he could. I'm for.
What I'm saying is, I wonder what the percentage is of somebody that, I mean, I don't know.
I'm for that being a capital offense, by the way. I tried to get to that at first, but for me, yes.
I think so. If you have the
that's
capabilities.
If that's the crime, do you know how many people are going to commit that crime? Very small.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even want to get into the entire conversation.
Do you remember the Chris Hansen thing?
Chris Hansen. Remind me.
He used to do a show where he would work with the cops and they would lure suspecting men over the internet to these houses.
To catch a predator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen.
Yeah.
Those shows almost made me vomit. But we would watch them because we're like, look at this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys, all those guys.
Yeah.
String them up.
Yeah. If you guys didn't catch it earlier, man, that's another one of those Diego from Blow. like to slice his fucking throat. If you haven't seen Blow, that's what that came from. I just felt like I needed to explain that for those of you that heard that earlier. But I agree completely. It needs to get to the point where people are afraid of it.
Of whatever it is.
And I'm sorry, there are few, we've discussed this on the show, there are few things in life that are a better motivator than fear.
I love the idea of the eye for an eye. Always thought this, even as a kid.
Yeah.
That, you know, especially like the guy that threw the kid off the balcony. Fuck yeah. Just go get him right now and throw his ass off.
And put it on pay-per-view.
Yes. Yeah, wait. Cameras haven't got here yet. Hold up.
Right, Chief.
Retard.
Right.
Hold
This
up.
might only last 7 minutes, so I'm going to pay my $19.99. I don't know if I'm going quite to like the $59.99, like 3 hours of
I don't
UFC.
know. Hearing that skin hit the concrete floor of a guy that's a douchebag.
I mean, I guess if you're going to put the time and money into like making it a legitimate like production, like you have like super sound quality, 8 different video angles of this, I can watch it in replay. Sick or not,
The
probably,
360 view.
right? I can make it a screensaver on my phone. You know what I mean?
Or the GIF,
Right?
where
I can get some eye for an eye merch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fucking sitting on gold right there. I think we're onto something.
yeah.
Yeah. But fuck that guy. If you're in fucking prison right now and you're going to pull us up on the internet and you get this guy in your fucking prison, that's your civic duty right there.
Boom.
Somebody take this motherfucker out. There's no way they put him in Gen Pop. And that's sad to me. Because he gets whatever's fucking coming to him.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. So, which brings us kind of to the last topic. To
Yeah.
circle back to what you were talking about just a second ago.
Yes.
Which is?
There was a recent event with a one Allison Mack allegedly manipulated and blackmailed women into being sex slaves for their cult leader, Keith Raniere. And so this is all about sex trafficking and or human trafficking, for that matter.
Yeah.
And like, it's a weird world. A weird world that, okay, so this was a cult, and from what I understand, it was like they offered these services for thousands of dollars.
Services such as what?
Well, I'm like let's just say get help or a betterment. Like you come in, you work as a team building and
I get you. So they kind of put you through like workshops.
yeah, and different
like together with different people that are all paying the same thing you are.
Yeah, and
you're all trying to be better.
You're all trying to be better, and like workshops and whatnot. Thousands of dollars.
It's like Tony Robbins, but as a religion.
Right, and then they would recruit probably the hot girls or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they would convince them to be the ones that they could convince to become these basically sex slaves. And this
was this to draw people in, or just to satisfy people that were already there?
Well, it was all for this Keith Raniere. He would actually have them branded with his initials. This is so fucked up.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Like literally a brand.
A brand. Yeah.
With a K and an R.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe even as a middle initial. I don't know. But I mean, it's almost like the guys that go and rob the convenience store and they live stream it or whatever, Facebook Live it. It's like, dude,
what the fuck?
Those are your initials on these 10 women.
Yeah. You're guilty, motherfucker.
You're fucking guilty. Yeah, this guy. I should have just put him on the gallows pole.
I mean, does he go there?
Yes.
Okay.
Because for one, they're preying on weak-minded individuals.
Right.
For sure. People that obviously think they need help, so they're coming to these help seminar things, whatever. They're paying thousands of dollars.
Sure.
And then they're preying on these weak people. So, yeah.
So let me ask this. And again, devil's advocate, just asking. It's called the world's oldest profession.
Not prostitution.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If we would just legalize prostitution anywhere and everywhere, wouldn't this handle a lot of the problems that are going with this? I mean, I don't know. I'm asking. Now, I'm just spitballing right now, just trying to understand exactly what direction we're going with this.
I mean, it's possible. I don't know. Would legalizing prostitution take care of a bunch of rape?
I mean, it might. For people that are into rape fantasies.
Well, I'm just saying, if the guy needs if he thinks that the only way he can get his rocks off is to go overtake this woman where, wait, he could just go around the corner and, live his own fantasy out for a few bucks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I agree that it's one of those things that we struggle with. I feel like it's a topic that we've struggled with so far as a society because it was something that kind of had a blind eye turned to it for a very, very, very long time.
Right.
I mean, hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, women and children mostly have been sex trafficked. I don't know a lot of mid-30s men that are being sex trafficked.
No.
I'm not going to tell you what doesn't happen. I'm going to tell you that those guys don't look like Dolph Lundgren.
No. But I got some numbers for you here.
Great.
So there are an estimated 21 million to 45 million. That's a huge gap. Million people that are trapped in some sort of, they're calling it slavery, which would be
manual labor or sex.
Right.
I mean, those are probably the only two things,
So
right?
it's sometimes called modern day slavery or human trafficking.
Did you say 45 million?
That blows my mind.
It's 5% of the world's population.
Right. But it says at all times it's slavery at its core. So I've got a list here of about 6 different things.
Okay.
You got domestic servitude, which is employees working in private homes are forced or coerced into serving and or fraudulently convinced that they have no option to leave.
Okay.
So once again, people that have no out.
If you're an illegal immigrant, something like that, they're
Yeah.
housing you, clothing you, feeding you. They tell you that if you run, you're going to get caught and thrown in jail.
Yeah, so what do? You keep working for peanuts.
Right.
Yeah, you're basically enslaved.
To keep your station in life.
Right.
Okay.
We have forced labor. Human beings are forced to work under the threat of violence and for no pay.
That's straight up slavery, right?
Right. These, they are treated as property and exploited to create a product for a commercial sale.
And you're telling me that there's between 25 and 45 million of those?
Well,
Or this
no.
This is all part of the same pot.
All lumped into one pot.
How many people fall into that category today of being true slaves?
I don't know.
It's fucked up shit.
I mean, maybe it is like let's just use the Mexicans that cross the border. I mean, maybe they're like, okay, go over here and work for Frank. Well, maybe Frank realizes that you're fucked. Maybe he can just, maybe it's not forever, but maybe
That's not the American mentality, though. If you go work for Frank and you're one of 30 and you go running off, Frank ain't going to risk the low labor on the other 29. He's going to beat the shit out of somebody. That way the other 29 think twice about it.
He may not beat the shit out of me, but he might be like, well, I got my few days out of that guy.
But what I'm saying is he's not going to let that precedent go. Anyway, keep going. I'm just
all right. So then we
thinking
got
as you're talking, bro.
We got child labor, which that doesn't need an explanation. That's just
at this point in time, there's so many fucking people on this planet that can be exploited. I hate to sound like a douchebag as I say this, but you're not going to get as much out of a kid.
No.
You know what I mean? No. Like it's stupid these days.
Then we've got sex trafficking, which we all know what that is.
Yeah.
Then we got bonded labor. So this is one I hadn't heard of.
Okay.
Individuals that are compelled to work in order to repay a debt.
That's an indentured servant.
Right. And unable to leave until the debt is repaid. It is the most common form of enslavement in the world. So
I guess it all depends on what kind of agreement you're locked into.
Right.
I mean, if you get a nickel every time you dust the house and you owe $50,000, that's a life sentence.
Yeah.
Right? So.
And then the last one, which I didn't think about this, forced marriages. Now, obviously, this doesn't happen in America much, but I'm sure it happens around the world.
Outside of Utah, I would say it's probably pretty scarce around here, Bob.
Yeah. But, hey, some of these I would not have even thought of.
Yeah. I shouldn't say that. I'm sure there's pockets of people that are still true to where they come from that still arrange marriages. I don't know. That's crazy, though. It's crazy to think that is, with the level of communication across the world today, that's still allowed to go on.
Yeah.
I feel like things like that are elements of society that our millennial generation is going to end up removing from society. If not completely removing, because certain things are going to be hard to ever remove.
Yeah.
I mean, we still got people that go on weekends and fight with battle axes and shit. You know what I mean?
Yes, we do.
To where I'm saying there's just certain things that you're never going to ever eradicate, not to hate on the medieval group
Don't call them LARPers.
It's some
not
cool,
fucking LARPers.
I'm just saying.
I don't know what they're called, but
I've seen it. It's some cool shit, and people get fucked up when they do it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But like, there's people that are still into that. You're like, fuck guns, you pussy. I'll fucking use a club. Yeah, how you like me now, right? But I do think it's one of those things that this generation is going to eradicate from common society as we become more of a connected world. So
I agree.
That's about what I've got on that, man.
Well, anything else you want to elaborate on?
No, I think that's about it. Hope you guys enjoy the new setup tonight. And thanks for stopping by, man. It's a good time.
Woo!
I would like to hear something back from something on this show. I mean, I can't believe that I didn't say anything, even on accident, that wasn't offensive. So
I think you did.
Please throw us something at our email address, theharperguys@gmail.com.
Yeah, if you've got a problem with the way people can't spit out fucking words or get through a conversation, or you're upset with hijackers of conversations like we are, let us know.
Yep. And here's a little surprise from my buddy Adam here. I hadn't thrown at him yet. What we're going to do is our second live show in June. Anybody that tunes into that second live show is going to be automatically in the drawing for our next live show the first week of August, which is going to be the steak show that we talked about before. So
steak show. The
steak show, to where we're going to have the grill. We're going to make several different kinds of steak, and we're going to taste test the shit out of it. See what you guys think.
Are we going to be smoking up the bunker down here?
Yeah, I got a smokeless indoor grill that I'm going to throw this shit on. It's going to be awesome. We'll have some topics that we'll bullshit with as we go. Anyway, just so you know, look forward to that. Stay with us on the live podcast, folks. It's going to be good times every other Thursday.
I'm excited now.
Me too.
I don't even know what I'm excited for, but I'm excited.
Hey, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We love you guys. Can't wait to hear from you soon.
Pip, pip.
Cheerio.